Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Yesterday we put surrogacy to the pub test, asking if you think it passed or not, and largely it did pass.
One of the calls was from Tennille, who shared her own story of surrogacy with her mum's family.
I've called for the right subject because my mum was a surrogate 40 years ago and had twins for a couple who could not have kids. I'm all for it because the end result in my story was my mum was the biological mother. Their non-biological mum passed away and my mum has been with their dad for the last 12 years. So I'm all for it. It makes happy families and it creates new lives.
Wow.
Wow.
We
Are
thought
there any questions?
We needed to know more, so we've got Tennille back. Hi, Tennille.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Great.
We were just intrigued by this story because surrogacy sort of didn't exist much in those days, not that we'd hear. How did it come about?
Well, I found it interesting, Amanda, that you said, didn't it work out great for that family? It's so easy when you know each other. But ironically, my mum was back then and still is a battling single parent, and she saw an ad in the newspaper for a childless couple. She met with them and so did one other couple, and they chose my mum because she was a single parent and they probably knew she wouldn't have any more kids. Like I said earlier yesterday, the catch was she had to be the biological mum because the other lady could not produce anything. And I'm not religious, but I truly believe there was someone upstairs helping out because the child that she was going to have turned into twins. It was all done under Dr. McBride, the doctor who discovered thalidomide, etc.
Yeah.
He, similar to when he falsified things back in the day, he falsified the birth certificate so it actually had the non-biological mum's name on the birth certificate. He set up a team and told them all the story, and they were born at 26 weeks. Now, 40 years ago, that was touch and go. They were born Christmas Eve, so my mum gave birth. She came home to cook Christmas dinner the next night. The non-biological mum stepped in. Due to complications, so I had an older brother. We were always raised knowing that these girls came out of my mum's tummy.
Can I ask you a question, Tennille? Was it your mum's egg?
Yes, they are my mum's children. Yep.
Right.
And so we used to catch up with them once or twice a year because the complications at birth kind of forged a relationship with that couple and my mum. And so we grew up knowing them, etc. And then sadly, their non-biological mum passed away and their father started seeing my mum more often, and we started to worry, thinking maybe he's sick and he just wants to make sure there's someone in the girls' lives.
How old were the girls when their mum died?
15.
Right.
Yeah. And then sure enough, a few years later, my mum and their dad get together, and now the twins' actual parents are dating and have been ever since.
Wow.
Was there drama at the time, or this just seemed like a natural progression for you?
Because my brother and I were always told these girls came from mum's tummy, being so young, we didn't ask questions. We just accepted that, and I think because my mum was a battling single parent, she was able to do it so easily because she knew she couldn't afford it. She knew they were never going to be her kids, and she didn't have that maternal instinct into having more kids. And so it just all worked.
And you're a very tight family now?
Yeah, well, they don't call my mum, but their kids all call her grandma. The highlight for me was when one of my sisters got married, the first one to get married. Their dad got up and he said a lovely speech, and to finish the speech he said, above all, I'd like to thank Robin, because without what she did, none of this would happen. And you could think about it, there's a whole wedding and none of those friendships, none of those relationships, the marriage would have occurred if my mum didn't have kids for this couple.
Isn't that amazing?
Was it a paid arrangement?
It was. Back then, she got paid $5,000, and you can imagine to a single parent who was struggling, that's a lot of money back then.
And that would have been off the books. You wouldn't have been advertising that to the world.
No. Tennille, what a story.
That is
what
amazing.
a great blended family you have.
Good on you, Tennille.
Very much so.
Thank you.
Thank you for ringing up and being part of that. That's, see, that works.
What a story.